Okay. Nice. Cuma your WhatsApp on the right.
Okay.
But sometimes have to be the father of all of you. Right. Cukup tak dua kan? Dua cukup.
Satu cukup.
Bagi lagi if men now ID is our BM test lah. So you will be asking BM now they asking now. We can solve problem.
So okay, we can requesting something. Then we will be advances to
Then anything dia jawab.
just their tech and whatever.
Kasi you know lah.
Well, we have several times that they pay.
He was ex-miskin. Kerja apa siapa?
Tonight.
Tonight. Oh, okay, alright. Then back to Parliament next week.
Yeah, probably Sunday night.
Oh, sorry, is it?
Make sure you look now. Make sure you will log out because afterwards you leave your laptop. You can read your WhatsApp.
Yes.
Oh, I hack every one of these. Like the NSA. So the person, the title will be upon the report to find out detail.
Yes.
And the question will be related to that. And we're going to add to 7% that class.
Okay.
No worries, nothing too controversial.
No problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's a veteran.
It's like Japan probably want to know like type of.
That one is controversial.
so okay. If anything, then
Okay, no problem. Take your time.
so kembali link kau dah bagi?
Dah.
Link dah bagi ya? Okay, so settle.
Check the link whether it's live.
Borak dulu. Kita kena bilang platform.
Okay.
I mean, that's why we work.
What is the issue with inter-religion marriage? How will Sharia courts view this? I'm an Indian, I'm married a Muslim woman.
Really? Oh, okay, right. Can you start this? Okay, right. Can you just explain a little bit about the Judicature Act? It's not the problem with the Judicature Act that's speaking that you are planning to learn.
Okay. Well, I think if I can just maybe start from the beginning, just to give a little background. We have a problem today in our country, in our legal system, essentially where you have a situation where there are Malaysian citizens who basically become trapped in a scenario where they cannot find remedy in any court of law. And this is not specific to, but usually happens in the case of non-Muslims who find themselves embroiled in Sharia cases. Most common of which would be, which we always hear about, Muslim mothers, non-Muslim mothers, who basically have their ex-husbands convert and then bring the custody case to the Sharia courts. Now what happens is that, according to the federal constitution, the Sharia court only has jurisdiction over those who profess the faith of Islam. So non-Muslims cannot appear in the Sharia court as witnesses, cannot challenge any order in the Sharia court. Essentially, they cannot, basically their hands are tied. So they cannot go to the Sharia court, they cannot challenge the order, and usually the case would be that the Sharia court would award custody to the Muslim parent. So the non-Muslim parent will not be able to challenge that, nor can they appear even as witnesses to explain their view. So what happens is they would try to go to the High Court. So in most cases they do that, and one of the most high-profile cases is that of Bendera Mutul. So she went to the High Court and she was successful. She got a High Court ruling, but then what happened was you had a High Court custody order as well as a Sharia court custody order. So which does the police enforce? And the answer is, the police can't make such a decision. And essentially that's what happened. So she brought it to appeal, brought it to the appeals court, and the appeal court recently ruled that just because Indira as a non-Muslim does not have or cannot seek remedy in the Sharia courts does not automatically mean she can also seek remedy in the civil courts. Essentially meaning to say that she cannot seek remedy in any court of law in the country. So as her right as a Malaysian, her right to justice, and her right to remedy in the court of law has been denied. And I think this is a breach of the federal constitution. It's a breach of constitutional right, and it's also against the person's fundamental liberties. So what we have is a problem caused by parallel systems of justice in the country, which we can trace back to the 1988 constitutional amendment. So before 1988, such a situation would never have occurred. But after that, we have a situation whereby, because of the 1988 amendments, what you had was amendments to Article 121, specifically the addition of Clause 1A to Article 121, which created a situation whereby the High Court no longer had any jurisdiction over any matter under the Sharia court, which basically means you have two parallel systems on the same level. So essentially, very well encapsulated in the case of Indira Gandhi, where you had basically two custody orders from two courts. So which do you? So the question is, where does she go from there, right? Well, according to the Court of Appeal, it's not. She can't really go anywhere from there. Which is why I'm trying to suggest that there is a way around this, and this is not something new that I want to introduce. What I'm trying to say is, let's go back to what the federal constitution intended the federal court to be. What I'm trying to say is that there is actually a mechanism for us to resolve these kind of cases, and that is to go through a federal court and to make the federal court play a role as a constitutional court, to rule on matters of constitutional rights, fundamental liberties, and such, which is what it was supposed to be. And if you go back and look at the federal constitution, Article 128, Clause 1, Clause 2, states very clearly the role of the federal court is meant to make decisions in such matters. I mean, matters involving state and state dispute, state and federal dispute, or matters, or how do you say, interpretation, whether a scheme that is against the constitution or not, that can be decided by the federal court. But the process in Malaysia is that the federal court will only decide after having been referred to by another court. So the High Court, for example, can refer to the federal court for a decision on whether this matter is constitutional or not before it reverts back to the High Court. Now again, this is a process. It takes time. And in the case of Indira Gandhi, and in the case of SDPA and many other cases, what we have seen is essentially long elapsed time. So in the case of Indira Gandhi, she has not seen her daughter in 7 years. The daughter is an 11-year-old baby, an 11-month-old baby, was taken away by her ex-husband. And it's been 7 years. Is a Sharia matter, for example. So in cases where then you are unclear of where the jurisdiction of the matter falls under, then you should be able to directly petition the federal court. And this is something based on the Indian Constitution, which is what our federal constitution is based on anyway. When we created Malaysia's federal constitution, they actually based it on the Indian Constitution. So if you look at the Indian Constitution, it's very clear, Article 32, the two clauses there, which creates a way to directly petition the Supreme Court, over there it's called the Supreme Court, on matters of constitutional right. So if you have such cases, what you can do is, instead of wasting time going through the High Court, take you years, then you go appeal to the appeals court, take you years, and then you go to federal court, by which time it's really no use because the mother would, the child would not even know the mother anymore. What you want to do is directly go to the federal court and have a final ruling there and then. And this is not limited to custodial cases. I mean, this would cover any kind of case in Malaysia which involves constitutional right or which involves fundamental liberties. So directly, we should allow the federal court to decide on something that's constitutional. And not only that, to have the power to issue rulings, orders, and writs, just like the Indian Supreme Court. So that's one amendment that I'm suggesting to create this mechanism. And in order to do this, there is no need to amend the federal constitution. We don't need to talk about re-amending Article 121. No need for that, because the definition and scope of what the federal court can do is already there's a federal law that creates this, that defines this scope, and that's the Courts of Judicature Act, which I'm saying if you simply amend this act and you create this mechanism in this act, then that will be enough. Basically, to create a mechanism for the federal court to become a constitutional court to rule on such matters. So again, this is not a Sharia matter. I think that has to be clear. What we are trying to say is that any matter involving a fundamental liberty or a constitutional right should be decided appropriately by the federal court. And the other thing that I say that we need to amend in the Courts of Judicature Act is also to define very clearly the role of the federal court, because there is some kind of conflict now. The current Courts of Judicature Act actually does state that in the exercise of its appellate function, and in Malaysia, the federal court is essentially an appellate court. I mean, it's the final appellate court where you do your last appeal. But it does state in the Courts of Judicature Act existingly that in its function as in its appellate function, the federal court can only rule or has power over whatever jurisdiction that the High Court has. I think that's wrong. I think the federal court should not be limited at all to what the High Court is limited to. The federal court is meant to be a much greater court. It's meant to be the final arbiter on all matters of law in Malaysia. And I feel that we need to return the role of the federal court to this kind of role as the final arbiter. And I think a few simple amendments to the Courts of Judicature Act would actually achieve this without having to touch the federal constitution.
You have brought this up in the Dewan Rakyat, right? What was the response from the different ministries?
Well, I brought it up in my speech during the debate on the motion of the royal address. It was a speech that I gave at length. It's the longest speech I ever gave in Parliament. And the good news is that I actually received a call the next day from the minister herself, who said that she is open to discussing this issue. Now, I believe Minister Nancy, who's the Minister for Law, is somebody who is progressive. We've seen her statements on many issues. I think she also sees the need to have resolution in these matters. I welcome the fact that the government is open to these ideas. And I've also stated that I'm willing to work together with the government if need be, because at the end of the day, this is something that would really resolve a huge constitutional problem for our country.
UNC seperti yang menjalankan draft tentang perkara isu perkara agama seperti kahwin yang 2009. Halangan sekarang ni adalah untuk mendapatkan persetujuan kerajaan negeri. Jadi bagaimana pilihan persetujuan?
Ya, dia sebenarnya kerajaan dah berkali kata di mana untuk menyelesaikan masalah ini antara cadangannya adalah untuk meminda Law Reform Act atau Law Reform 2 memperbarui undang-undang dan beberapa lagi akta agama syariah keluarga lah family law untuk agama Islam. Tapi of course sebagai kerajaan persekutuan dalam parlimen kita boleh meminda akta-akta yang melibatkan wilayah persekutuan. Tidak boleh meminda untuk kerajaan-kerajaan negeri. Jadi saya nampak cara ni memang mungkin tak senang lah, sebab memerlukan semua negeri untuk setuju. Dan kalau ada satu dua negeri tak setuju pun dah ada roadblock. Jadi saya rasa kalau nak, dan saya nampak juga kontroversi yang mungkin timbul dengan apabila kita nak bincang isu penukaran agama, isu yang membawakan syariah. Jadi mungkin saya rasa cara pindaan yang saya nak cadangkan ni melalui akta mahkamah kehakiman adalah satu cara yang lebih, saya rasa, tidak menyentuh bab syariah. Ya, dia lebih kepada hak asasi dan juga kebebasan seorang individu sebagai rakyat Malaysia. Jadi saya rasa kalau kita boleh pindah bagi memerkasakan mahkamah persekutuan untuk memainkan peranan sebagai mahkamah perlembagaan, maka kita boleh mengelakkan daripada masalah-masalah yang timbul dengan bidang kuasa syariah dan sebagainya.
Jadi untuk mahkamah perlembagaan tu yang berkenaan dengan civil liberties yang suka kan. Jadi kita tahu perkara ni definisi dia kapur. So adakah perlu satu macam komiti untuk menentukan adakah kes ini jatuh kepada civil liberty ataupun tidak?
Dalam kes ni, kalau kita gunakan contoh Indira Gandhi, S. Nipa dan sebagainya, bagi saya ni bukan kes ataupun kes yang mewakilkan agama, bukan kes syariah. Bagi saya secara pokoknya dia adalah satu masalah perlembagaan. It's a constitutional problem. Sebab apa? Ada dalam kes ini rakyat Malaysia yang tidak berhak mendapat remedi dalam mahkamah syariah ataupun mahkamah sivil. Jadi dalam arti kata lain, ada rakyat Malaysia yang tidak dapat remedi dalam mana-mana mahkamah. Dan saya rasa itu bercanggah ya, dengan hak sebagai seorang rakyat Malaysia untuk mendapatkan remedi daripada mahkamah undang-undang. Jadi saya nampak perkara ini sebagai masalah perlembagaan. It's a constitutional problem ya, dan bukan masalah syariah, bukan masalah agama. Saya kira penting ya kita melihat dalam kerangka.
Basically, laws by right, it should be uniform, don't you think? But right now, like when it comes to Sharia law, it differs in pretty much every state, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
I don't think laws need to be uniform per se. After all, we are in a federation. The Malaysian Federation was created as a a federation of independent states coming together, and of course we respect the history and legacy of each independent state, which all had their own histories and their own processes and own laws. So this is something we have to respect. And the federal constitution is very clear that each state, that Islam is a state matter, and that each state obviously has their own Sharia laws. It's not a problem. The problem is that we have situations where basically people are in limbo. There is no remedy. And I think that kind of situation should not occur in our country, and that we need a way out. So I'm proposing a way out. I think the problem is not so much that we have laws or Sharia laws in each state that are not uniform. I think that's fine because each state has their own, again, historical, everyone comes from different backgrounds and histories and so on and so forth. So that's not a problem. The problem is that there are people who are clearly not getting justice. And we need to address that.
Because my witness she said that right now the lack of uniformity is part of the root of the problem, because like in Selangor, for example, it requires both parents to agree to a child being converted. But in other states it's not like that. Like all you need is just one parent's signature. And that's where the problem starts. Because when you have one parent probably not even knowing that the child is being converted. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think unilateral conversion obviously is a problem. I mean, the reason why these cases occur in the first place is that because you have unilateral conversion. So yes, I think that, and the government has recognized this. As you yourself said, in 2009, the cabinet made a statement to say that unilateral conversion is one of the things that they're going to look at to change. But like I said, the process is not so simple and straightforward because there are going to be obstacles, and to get everyone to agree may take time. I hope it gets resolved at some point. So what I'm trying to say in the case of SD, but it reached the federal court, and finally the federal court did make a decision on who should have custody. That decision is final. But the problem is it took years to reach the federal court, and we don't want every family to have to go through that. So what I'm saying is we can shortcut that process. It doesn't solve every problem, but at least it solves a very fundamental problem. Sometimes you have to do things one step at a time.
Even it can get if it's ever tabled in the one right now, do you think it can get the two-third majority?
We don't need two-thirds.
For the amendment.
For amendments to Courts of Judicature Act, a simple majority will. So that's the beauty of it, which is why I'm not proposing a constitutional amendment. Yes. Constitutional amendment, you need two-thirds. That's not going to happen. Gone are the days when the government or basically just ruled parliament. These days, you're not going to get two-thirds. It's going to be very difficult. So being aware of that, which is why I didn't want to propose something that is fantasy. I propose something that can be done if the government has the will to do it. And I think this is, again, a less controversial issue. I'm not trying to, I'm not taking the Sharia route. I'm not criticizing any laws. What I'm trying to say simply is that federal court should have the right to play its role as a constitutional court, and that will help resolve a lot of these problems, and not just these problems, many other problems.
Do you think that you probably face basically objections from the Muslim simulation?
No, I actually think the objections would come from those who believe perhaps that the courts, the judiciary should not play such an important role. Because if you look at the amendments made, not just to Article 121, but throughout the years when Dr. Mahathir was Prime Minister, you basically, Malaysia was formed with a separation of powers, concept, judiciary, executive, and legislative. Each body was meant to be equal, whereby it's a check and balance, right? But during the premiership of Dr. Mahathir, a lot of amendments were made to the constitution. A lot of laws were changed to make the legislative subordinate to the executive, as well as the judiciary. So part of the problems of what happened in 1988 was a constitutional crisis. As you know, the Lord President at the time was sacked. A few other justices of the Supreme Court at the time were sacked. And so there was basically conflict between the executive and the judiciary, and some laws were amended to make the judiciary essentially more subordinate to the executive. Same thing was done with Parliament. The Parliamentary Services Commission Act was repealed, for example, and which is why today Parliament is simply department under the Jabatan Perdana Menteri, which is not meant to be. It's meant to be independent. So all these things were changed as part of the centralization of power under the executive. So, but again, to change all these things again, it required 2/3 majority. So, which is, you know, I want to be realistic here. We can't get that, I know. So what I'm trying to propose is, you know, things we can do, simple laws that we can amend in order to get around these problems and basically.
Okay, secara umum, apa masalahnya dengan mahkamah syariah? Sebab baru-baru ni kita agung kata untuk memperkasakan mahkamah syariah. Kalaulah sebagai contoh, orang bukan Muslim boleh mendapatkan keadilan di mahkamah syariah, adakah masalahnya akan selesai?
Saya bukan nak kata ada masalah dengan mahkamah syariah. Dia masalahnya mungkin bukan dengan mahkamah syariah, tapi masalahnya adalah di mana timbul kekeliruan, kekaburan ya, dalam isu bidang kuasa, contohnya bidang kuasa mahkamah. Adakah ini dalam masalah mahkamah sivil ataupun mahkamah syariah dan sebagainya. Dan mungkin antara masalah-masalah yang timbul adalah apabila bukan Muslim. So macam mana kita nak selesaikan masalah apabila melibatkan bukan Muslim? Ya? Sebab kalau nak ikut kepada perlembagaan Malaysia, mahkamah syariah tidak memberikan kuasa kepada seorang bukan Muslim. Ya? Jadi macam mana nak bawa seorang bukan Muslim untuk menghadap mahkamah syariah? Tak boleh kalau ikut perlembagaan. Tidak satu tindakan yang mencabuli hak rakyat tersebut. Jadi mungkin masalahnya dari segi itulah, dari segi kekaburan dalam bidang kuasa dan bukan dalam mahkamah syariah. Ya, kekaburan itu. Semua masalah ini sebenarnya dia timbul daripada masalah, tapi sebab dia tidak didefinisikan mungkin dengan paling baik, dengan terbaik, di mana ada timbul lakuna, ya, lakuna di mana ada masalah macam ni, di mana nampaknya ada orang yang tak pasti, ataupun ada kes yang kita tidak pasti sama ada dia masuk ke dalam bidang kuasa sivil ataupun syariah. Jadi macam mana ya, orang yang dalam masalah ni, macam mana dia nak dapat penyelesaian, dia nak dapat keadilan. Dan pada saya, tak kira lah kalau kita nak kata mahkamah syariah ke mahkamah sivil ke, pokoknya adalah keadilan. Adakah seseorang itu boleh mendapatkan keadilan? Kalau tidak boleh, memang dah bermasalah.
Dan satu lagi, saya tahu wajib cakap orang tak ada tanya. Tapi wajib kan cakap mahkamah persekutuan tidak seharusnya limit pada mahkamah tinggi sahaja. Sepatutnya menjadi arbiter kepada seluruh perundangan di Malaysia. Dan adakah masalah paralel itu boleh selesai jika mahkamah syariah diletakkan di bawah, tidak lagi di bawah mahkamah khas, tapi itu masuk dalam hierarki mahkamah persekutuan?
Saya rasa kita kena faham mahkamah syariah adalah di bawah bidang kuasa negeri, ya, sebab undang-undang Islam di bawah kerajaan negeri, di bawah bidang kuasa negeri. Jadi tidak timbul masalah ini. Yang saya nak katakan di sini adalah mahkamah persekutuan seharusnya memainkan peranan sebagai mahkamah untuk menentukan dalam segala perkara yang melibatkan hak asasi hak asasi yang dijaminkan oleh perlembagaan masa. Jadi senang dia, kita fokus pada hak perlembagaan, constitutional right seseorang individu rakyat Malaysia. Dan kalau ada berlaku perkara yang mencabuli hak tersebut, maka perkara itu seharusnya dibawa kepada Mahkamah Persekutuan untuk diputuskan.
Jadi sebab kalau hak asasi itu bagi contoh mudah kan, kalau vaksin pun dijamin, tapi kita ada undang-undang yang menghalang. Jadi memang dia nak tentukan hak asasi.
Bawa ke Mahkamah Persekutuan, biar Mahkamah Persekutuan yang putuskan sama ada hak asasi itu dicabut ke tak.
So just to clarify kan, so kalau katakanlah isu no translated against that issue last year kan, that should fall under the federal court as well. So
well, without knowing the facts of the case, I cannot really comment. But I can say that if well, not just that issue in particular, but any kind of issue, if it involves a constitutional right, then I feel we shouldn't waste time in going to the High Court. Straight petition to the High Court. Straight, to the Federal Court. Yeah. Just like here in India, where on such matters you go straight to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court can make a decision. Over here, the current system is you can the High Court can refer to the Federal Court, but Federal Court doesn't decide. All it does is it makes a decision on whether the thing is constitutional or not, and then it goes back to the High Court. It sends it back. It sends the case back. What I'm saying here is the Federal Court is not a referral system. You go straight to Federal Court decides.
So it's like the British system, the Indian system, where they had the highest court to decide everything. It's no longer just the High Court. Okay, we have a question from Facebook. Saying like some have suggested reverting to the old system of Privy Council in England, where the jurisdiction is clear-cut, as the Federal Court in Malaysia may not be free and independent. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't think there's a need to revert to the Privy Council system. I think Article 128 makes it very clear that the Federal Court does have a role to play in determining matters involving the Constitution and constitutional right. So all we have to do is empower or re-empower the Federal Court to make such decisions. So we don't have to go back to these old methods.
Exactly.
Saya nak kembali kepada Kita Agung.
Okay.
Agung dekat memperkasakan Mahkamah Syariah. Apakah dia nampak apa yang boleh yang dibuat untuk memperkasakan itu dan komen kepada kita tersebut?
Saya rasa tanpa kalau nak komen mengenai memperkasakan Mahkamah Syariah secara tersendiri tanpa detail, saya mungkin tak ada komen sangat lah. Cuma the idea of nak memperkasakan mana-mana mahkamah pun saya rasa tak salah. Cuma bagi saya, kalau kita nak memperkasakan menjadikan jelas, membuatkan lebih jelas bidang kuasa dan sebagainya, masalah yang fundamental yang saya kata tadi, daripada kita nak sebab macam mana lagi kita nak memperkasakan Mahkamah Syariah? Sebab kalau ikut Perlembagaan Malaysia, Mahkamah Syariah ataupun Undang-Undang Syariah adalah di bawah kerajaan negeri. So dalam sebuah negeri, yang paling tinggi pun bagi Mahkamah Syariah adalah Mahkamah Rayuan. Dia tak ada Federal Court untuk Syariah. Kita faham. Dia ada Mahkamah Tinggi Syariah dan Mahkamah Rayuan. Dia tidak ada Federal Court. Jadi dari segi nak memperkasakan, memang saya rasa dah cukup diperkasakan lah. Sudah ada dia punya hierarki, dia sudah ada punya, dan dari segi kuasa kalau nak dibandingkan dengan Mahkamah Sivil sudah setara. Jadi saya nampak tak menjadi masalah. Tapi cuma yang menjadi masalah adalah lakuna yang berlaku.
Okay. Is it okay if we start asking you question on other issues?
Okay.
Yes, Bersama. Okay, so a few questions from Facebook and Twitter as well. Okay, so to ask, what are your thoughts on youth today? Like, how have the youth been affected compared to yesteryears, especially in the upcoming general election?
Well, I think I think there are two sides of the coin here. On the one hand, the youth today are very much more empowered compared to before, simply because of technology, social media, and so on. But at the same time, these same things, technology, social media, also create very many other distractions, and as a result, perhaps then you basically would spend time on all these other distractions more, and as a result, I think we also have a very apolitical segment of the youth. I think not enough youth are getting involved, or at least even taking an interest in what's happening. Now, I don't blame them. A lot of them are disillusioned. They see a system that doesn't empower them. They see a system that doesn't engage them, and that would be your natural reaction, just not care. And then you just get caught up in your own things, like look at Instagram and troll celebrities and so on. So, but on the other hand, there are now you also see technology empowering activism in youth, which is good. Which is why we see now lots of young people being involved in all, basically civil society and political activism, civil society activism, and so on. So it's both sides of the coin. The challenge I think is how do we reach out to the youth who are perhaps less interested in politics? How do we engage them and tell them that politics is important, because politics run your lives, whether you like it or not. If you open a website and you can't access it, it's because of politics. Right? It's not because MCMC blocks it. It's not because of bad internet connection, right? It's because there's a political reason why the site is blocked, and you have to realize that it has to do with politics. And if you feel that that's against your right, then you should speak up. You should, take a stand. But the question is, how do we engage them, and how do we get them interested? And I think everyone is trying to do this. The DAP has been trying to do this as well. So in various ways. So sometimes we have to use the social media as well. We use Facebook a lot. The DAP, I think, probably of all the parties in Malaysia, uses Facebook the most, because it's part of our way to try to reach and engage this audience.
Do you think, because maybe Rafiz Ramli said before, last week actually, that demonstrations and rallies are part of ways to literally keep the youth informed and also to get them to make them be more aware of the current situation.
Yeah. I would agree. Because demonstrations or rallies or basically mass movements create a lot of buzz, especially on the social media. And when people are retweeting stuff, sharing stuff online, that's how people. That's one way of engagement as well.
I think to go back to the question about the court and stuff like that just now, right? Can a judge be truly independent if, let's say, the judge has the same race as, let's say, one of the parents of the
Well, I think technically that should not even be an issue, right?
Yes.
I mean, the judge is supposed to be on law and justice. This should be the main, the principal, notions that guide the judge in his or her decisions. I have to say, this is actually a point that I want to raise next week, since you brought it up.
Yes.
I want to say that we have 12 single non-women putra, and it's only 2 women. So this completely does not reflect the demography of our country. Half our population are women, where we only have 2 out of 12 who are women. And none of the 12 judges in the federal court it's not a single non-women putra. And there's only one non-Muslim, who is a women putra non-Muslim.
What do you think this suggests? What does this show about our country?
Well, I think, and this is something that's recent. So in the old days, there used to be better reflection of our demography, and this is something that's happened in the last 10 years, maybe. The last non-women putra federal court judge we had was Tan Sri James Fong, who retired in 2012. So that's 4 years since we've had our last non-Bumi Putra. And again, what I'm saying again, it's not that Bumi Putra judges are bad or there's anything wrong. It's just that how do you get a situation like this where the entire bench of the federal court completely doesn't reflect at all. We're talking about non-Bumi Putras making up over 30% of our country, and there's not even a single one to represent the community on the federal court bench. Same goes with women, the Me Too women. So, whereas if you look at the appeals court, that's a bit more, that's much better. I think you have 30% representation, both women and non-Bumi Putra and so on. So, something doesn't seem right.
What do you think is that that's not right?
Well, I think far be it for me to comment. I mean, the judges are appointed. We have a judicial commission and so on and so forth. Somehow it just doesn't seem right to me that that we do not have a single non-Bumi Putra judge or federal court caliber. I think that cannot be the case, right? It cannot be the case. So I think Malaysians can also make their own conclusions from there.
Maaf kalau ibu nak untuk soalan ni. Saya ada orang tanya, bagaimana dengan kabinet bayangan?
Okey, kabinet bayangan. Saya rasa kita pun dah jawab banyak kali. Kita tak kisah kalau nak buat kabinet bayangan itu tak menjadi masalah. Cuma kabinet bayangan dalam negara lain semuanya sistem Westminster yang kita lihat. Kabinet bayangan tu memang betul-betul diberi status kabinet bayangan. Maksudnya menteri-menteri bayangan mempunyai akses kepada kerajaan, mempunyai akses kepada runtukan dan juga dari segi dalam parlimen itu sendiri mempunyai iktiraf sebagai menteri bayangan. Jadi tapi di Malaysia kalau saya rasa pembangkang boleh diberi pengiktirafan tersebut dengan semua peruntukan yang sama, termasuk akses kepada kementerian, kepada pegawai kerajaan. Sebab menteri bayangan dalam UK semuanya dalam bila tiba bajet sebagai contoh, kementerian itu tapi dia cuma dalam nama. Saya rasa tak bermakna. Kalau ada, ada ke tak ada, tak bermakna. Jadi saya rasa kerajaan yang patut mengambil langkah terdahulu untuk mengiktiraf kabinet bayangan, barulah kita boleh buat.
Mungkin kerana orang memang keep on asking about this, sebab dia cuma nak tengok siapa yang jadi, siapa yang jadi, supaya dia dapat peace of mind.
Yeah. Well, okay. Kalau kita ikut kalau betul-betul nak ikut United Kingdom, setiap parti mempunyai kabinet bayangan sendiri. Dia bukan pembangkang hanya ada satu kabinet bayangan. So kalau nak ikutkan, kita dah buat dah. Sebab DAP dah ada, PKR pun dah ada, dan PAS kalau ada, mungkin ada. Jadi jurucakap dalam setiap bahagian. Sebagai contoh, saya sendiri jurucakap DAP untuk pendidikan, sains dan teknologi. Dan kalau kita lihat pada Parlimen UK, so Parti Liberal Democratic sebagai contoh, ada kabinet bayangan sendiri. Parti Labour mempunyai kabinet bayangan sendiri. Dia bukan sebagai satu pembangkang tu.
Konteks di UK tersebut kalau di Malaysia,
Tapi kita ikut UK Parlimen.
Yeah, in the sense that what most of us say right now, it's true there's like Labour and stuff like that I can, but they are all going and fighting on their own separately. Tapi for the AP, PAS, and Amanah and PKR, they are working as a coalition in the sense that they will form the government, not PAS the government, not the AP the government or PKR the government, or become Pakatan Harapan government, right? So what about that? Some people are questioning, Pastor Syazal and I saying that you guys can even decide on who's going to be the Prime Minister.
We have already decided. We have a Ketua Pembangkang. Ketua Pembangkang is the alternate Prime Minister.
Exactly, but what she's trying to say is that you guys can decide on who's going to be responsible for which department and everything as a coalition.
Okay. I think actually it's not very unclear because we have spokesperson for each party, and obviously all the spokesperson, I mean this spokesperson, would, generally these people will be the ones in charge for that portfolio. To do it if they give proper facility and proper recognition. So we're very happy to do it. But if you want to say we have not even decided on Prime Minister, I think that's not true. We have Ketua Pemangkang, and Ketua Pemangkang is the alternative Prime Minister. So if we win today, Wan Azizah will be Prime Minister. I mean, if you just follow whoever is in the parliament right now.
Tanya.
Okay, komen lagi tentang PAS dan ikatan gabungan. Awak dengan kerja, dia patut domain yang ditandatangan.
Sebenarnya saya tak komen sangat pasal PAS dengan ikatan ni. Dia apa ni? Tapi saya nampak ada statement daripada Naib Presiden Ikatan yang menyatakan bahawa Ikatan sebagai satu parti memang tidak setuju dengan pelaksanaan hudud. Jadi saya lebih minat nak tahu pendirian PAS, macam mana dia boleh buat gabungan dengan sebuah parti yang tidak menyokong pelaksanaan hudud, walhal dia pecah dengan DAP pun sebab DAP tak menyokong pelaksanaan hudud. Jadi saya nampak di sini mungkin ada berlaku double standard. Jadi saya rasa mungkin perkara ini perlu dijawab oleh PAS.
Does the Fed pose any threat?
Ya, Pakatan. Pakatan is Pakatan.
Maybe bercakap pasal double standard tadi. Okay, sebelum ni, sebelum amanah lahir, golongan-golongan profesional dalam PAS bulan ini biasa cakap mengatakan bahawa hudud belum sesuai, kena fokus ekonomi dulu, baru boleh fokus hudud. Dan bila kumpulan profesional ini cakap benda yang sama, berbagai kelemahan dilempar terhadap golongan ini. Tapi akhirnya bila dengan ikatan dia cakap benda yang sama tapi jadi geng dengan
itu yang saya nampak sangat mengherankan. Dan saya pun bertanya soalan yang sama pada saya, macam mana kepimpinan PAS dia boleh menerima perkara ini, dan bagi mereka memang ini tidak menjadi satu hipokrisi lah. Sebab saya nampak macam hipokrisi. Cakap tak cukup bikin, dan betul lah. Dulu apabila golongan yang sekarang ni dah menjadi amanah, mereka sebenarnya mengatakan perkara yang sama, tapi diserang oleh puak-puak dalam PAS tu. Dan sekarang ni mereka dengan happy-nya boleh bergabung, bersalam dan bergabung dengan parti Ikatan yang memang jelas tidak menyokong hudud langsung. Jadi tak tahulah, saya rasa rakyat Malaysia boleh buat keputusan sendiri mengenai gabungan baru ni.
Mungkin dia ada pengajaran kepada
bagi sebagai ahli parlimen, Maybe rasa adakah undang-undang hudud ni akan dibawa ke parlimen? Percaya
macam mana? Kalau dari sebagai rang undang-undang persendirian memang mustahil, tak pernah berlaku dalam sejarah Malaysia rang undang-undang persendirian dibawa ke parlimen. Jadi pada saya takkan berlaku, dan itu pun sepatutnya menjadi satu pengajaran kepada PAS sebab dia percaya dengan UMNO yang telah menjanjikan untuk membawa ke parlimen, tapi sampai sekarang ini pun kita tak lihat. Memang ada dalam order paper, tapi itu je. Order paper tu kita tahu dalam satu mesyuarat parlimen paling banyak pun kita mungkin ke item ke-6 ke-7. Apabila undang-undang hudud tu dalam item ke-27, memang tak sampai lah.
Saja kan.
Saja je lah. Tak kena tipu.
Kembali ke DAP.
So, okay, that's a question from Twitter. So, how open is the AP to possibly one day having a million leading the parties?
I think for DAP it's never a problem. We have had Kapal Singh is not Chinese, if you notice.
Yes.
He was chairman of our party. So we've never had a problem. For us, it's not about the race of an individual, but whether that person is capable. That's all. So DAP definitely could accept a Malay leader, or Indian leader, or Dayak leader. It's no problem.
And what about another question is like, how do we move beyond race and quit with Penang leading the way?
Well, it's a good question, and I think Penang is trying to do that. We are trying to create policies. We're trying to create policies that are not race-based. We're trying to create needs-based, that are based on evidence, which is basically a paradigm shift compared to what the BN used to do. So all our programs, poverty eradication, housing, and everything else, we all focus on needs. So, for example, in Penang we have the what we call Agenda Ekonomi Saksama. It's essentially a hardcore poverty alleviation scheme, which gives out, which tops up the monthly income of hardcore poor families, and it's nothing to do with race. But what we do see is the majority of recipients are Malay families. So again, this is proof that if we have needs-based policies, the right people will get help. And I think this is a model that can work for Malaysia.
Also, I think in a written reply this week in Parliament, it was stated that the debt that Penang has the lowest debt against the government.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Why is Penang compared to Sabah or even
Well, I think it simply boils down to management. It simply boils down to management. I think we have shown in the last 7-8 years, and this is proven, it's not just me saying this, proven by the Auditor General's report every year, that Penang is financially well managed, and that we take a prudent approach, meaning we try not to waste, and we try to, obviously we implemented open tenders, we try to get minimize corruption, and that results in savings, that results in less wastages, leakages, so Penang, we're not doing anything incredible. We're just doing something that the government should actually be doing. So, we're not claiming to be great. We're just saying that we are doing the right thing. And if our federal government can do the right thing, every year we'll be saving so much money. We don't even need GST. Yeah.
Memang DAP sikap memang parti sosial demokratik yang tidak berdasarkan kaum. Tapi saya ratus DAP itu daripada dalam mitra dibantah oleh ahli-ahlinya. Memang DAP dari segi parti bukan eksis, tapi yang sebenarnya masih ada dalam.
Saya rasa konflik dalaman parti ni dalam semua parti ada. Ya, dah tentu dalam DAP ada macam-macam kan. Ya? Dan bila orang Kempen kata ada sebahagian daripada lumrah politik kepartian. Cuma bagi kami sebagai kepimpinan, itulah yang kita kena mengajar juga kepada mendidik kepada ahli-ahli kita. Kita kena membuka minda mereka, bukan sahaja rakyat Malaysia tapi juga dalam parti kita. Menjadi satu cabaran juga bagi parti. Dan bagi saya, dia adalah satu kemurahan. Mungkin ada semintik ya, dan kita kena engage mereka, kita kena memberitahu mereka bahawa pandangan itu adalah salah. Ya. Jadi saya rasa tak menjadi masalah. Dia memang dalam setiap parti tu mesti ada ya orang yang berpandangan macam-macam dan mempunyai fikiran yang lain, dan saya rasa itulah sebenarnya yang menjadikan kekuatan kerencaman dalam pemikiran, kerencaman dalam cara pandang dan sebagainya.
Maybe kita cakap pasal pentadbiran di okay, sejauh mana demokratik sosialisme diterap dalam pentadbiran kita?
Saya rasa kalau kita bincang isu social demokrasi ini adalah satu kesamaan, solidariti. Ya, dan saya rasa kerajaan Penang khususnya memang kalau kita lihat pada pendirian, pendekatan dan juga dasar-dasar kerajaan negeri Penang sejak tahun 2008, semua unsur-unsur tersebut ya, memang sah-sah ada. Projek ataupun program agenda ekonomi sama untuk membasmikan kemiskinan tegar. Kita nak sebab tu kita mulakan skim perumahan rumah pemilik, skim perumahan kos rendah kita telah memperbanyakkan, dan juga di Pulau Pinang sebagai contoh ya, saya rasa tak ada negeri lain di Malaysia di mana apabila berlaku kes pengusiran setinggal di mana di Pulau Pinang kita memang pastikan bahawa kalau tidak ada pempasan yang setimpal kepada penduduk yang diusir, maka kerajaan negeri tidak memberi kelulusan projek. Jadi saya rasa tak ada negeri lain yang buat macam tu, dan di Pulau Pinang kita nampak sebenarnya pampasan yang selalu didapati oleh penduduk adalah amat tinggi dan mungkin yang antara yang paling tinggi di Malaysia.
Boleh bagi contoh satu.
Saya bagi contoh, ya, banyak contoh yang saya bagi. Dalam kawasan saya sendiri ada di Batu Tinggi kes Kampung Ceti. Kampung Ceti saya rasa dalam 300 buah rumah penduduk asal Setinggan yang duduk situ, dan apabila ini tanah milik swasta, dan apabila tanah tersebut hendak dimajukan, maka kerajaan negeri telah membantu untuk berunding sebagai pemudah cara ya, sebagai facilitator antara penduduk dan juga dengan pemaju. Dan kalau kita ikut pada undang-undang sebenarnya, ikut undang-undang tidak perlu bagi pampasan. Sebab apa? Dia memang duduk secara haram atas tanah yang dimiliki oleh orang lain ya, dan dia tak payah sewa ya, dia tak payah. Jadi sebenarnya kalau ikutkan mahkamah undang-undang, dan kalau kes ni masuk mahkamah dah tentu kalah. Penduduk akan kalah, pemaju boleh ambil tanah tersebut dan buat bangunan, kemajuan. Tapi kami sebagai kerajaan negeri, mungkin kita ambil pendekatan yang lebih solidariti dengan rakyat. Ya, jadi inilah unsur sosial demokrasi juga. Dan kita kata, okey, saya tahu tanah ni milik pemaju. Dan kami tahu tanah ini sebenarnya orang ni tak ada hak nak duduk atas tanah ini. Tetapi atas unsur kemanusiaan, kami juga tahu untung atas tanah ini memang nanti ada banyak. Jadi bagilah sikit, pampasan sikit supaya mereka boleh teruskan hidup mereka, tak susah nanti adalah bumbung di atas kepala mereka dan sebagainya. Jadi kita pastikan ada pampasan. Dan saya rasa tak ada negeri lain yang mempunyai dasar yang begitu keras. Ya? Sampai pemaju semua memang tak suka. Memang sebab mereka terpaksa membayar pemasan yang tinggi. Ya? Tapi saya rasa ini adalah salah satu contoh ya, di mana kita mempraktikkan, mengamalkan prinsip social demokrasi, khususnya prinsip solidariti dengan rakyat. Sebab kalau sebenarnya ikut undang-undang, ya, mereka tidak mempunyai hak dan mereka sebenarnya perlu diusir. Ya. Jadi, tapi kerajaan negeri mengambil pendekatan bahawa ya, kita tak mahu keadaan di mana bukan nak kata hak, tapi yang bercanggah dengan perikemanusiaan yang berlaku kepada rakyat dan sebagainya. Jadi ini adalah salah satu contoh ya di mana kerajaan negeri.
Mungkin lagi boleh cerita sikit pasal kes kampung pemantau untuk subuh.
Kampung pematang untuk subuh bukan dalam kawasan saya, itu dalam kawasan Bukit Tajam. Jadi yang paling abdalnya MP Bukit Tajam yang ceritalah. Tapi yang saya tahu dia kes di mana bukan pemaju ya, dia pemilik tanah. Pemilik tanah ni dia menggunakan laluan mahkamah untuk mengusir penduduk tersebut dan seperti saya kata kalau ikut undang-undang memang dia menang lah ya. Tapi di sini pun kerajaan negeri masuk campur dari segi menyatakan bahawa kalau tidak ada pembahasan itu memang ya, kita tidak akan menyokong. Dan pada masa yang sama kerajaan negeri juga telah memberi jaminan ya, macam mana pun penduduk akan dibela. Jadi ini salah satu contoh.
So kerajaan negeri akan
sudah tentu kita akan membantu ya. Saya rasa ini pun pernah diutarakan oleh MP Tajam di mana kita kata penduduk kampung untuk subuh bukannya yatim piatu sebab kerajaan negeri menjadi bapa.
Okay, untuk soal ini.
Okay, terima kasih Adi kerana sidang ini. So hari ini ada 50 DNP siapa lagi?
Apa ni? Ya, nak ni? Oh, okey. Takkan ucap tahniah kepada parti sendiri kan?
Dari parti yang mu cakap untuk penjajah kecil sampai parti yang kedua besar.
Saya rasa perjalanan parti DAP sejak 50 tahun ni memang satu nak kata perjalanan yang amat menarik ya, pelbagai cabaran yang diharungi. Kita nampak ramai pemimpin DAP terpaksa mengorbankan ya, kebebasan mereka, masuk penjara, kena tahan dan macam-macam lagi ya. Tapi saya rasa dan saya yakin kalau kita tanya balik kepada pemimpin-pemimpin tersebut, adakah mereka menyesal ataupun adakah mereka sanggup melaluinya semula, saya rasa jawapannya pasti ya. Dan begitulah saya rasa semangat ya kepimpinan DAP dan juga semangat yang telah memberi saya inspirasi juga untuk menyertai parti tersebut, dan saya harap saya pun boleh ya berjuang atas semangat yang sama lah dalam kita tahulah lagi 50 tahun yang akan datang ya untuk parti DAP.
Maybe ada message yang lain untuk penonton.
Mungkin ramai yang saya dapat ya, selalu bila saya jumpa dengan orang khususnya rakyat Malaysia dan ramai yang sudah khususnya mereka yang sudah tidak menetap di Malaysia, saya nampak mutakhir ni ramai yang macam hilang keyakinan dalam negara kita. Lihat segala yang bertahun kebelakangan ini dengan skandal ini, tapi saya generasi kita sendiri dan kalau kita nak biarkan pada orang lain, saya rasa kalau semua biarkan pada orang lain memang tak akan menjadi. Kalau kita nak selamatkan Malaysia seperti mana yang kita sedang berusaha sekarang ni, kita kena selamatkan Malaysia bersama-sama.
Okay, terima kasih.